Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Nikolai. Today, I'm here with Throggma, who's one of the co-leaders of Warbound Legion. How you doing, man?
Yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good, you know?
Yeah, so I appreciate you taking some time to do an interview with me.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Now, uh, I believe that we met via Twitter. I believe I followed you, and then eventually we met in game. I can't remember the exact location in game, but from there we kind of made a friendship, and I joined your Discord and did a
Yep.
couple PvP activities and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I remember where it was a Letemburn spot where he was sitting, and he whispered me, he said, Jagor is actually the little puppy. And I said, no, it's not. You're messing with me. And it actually was. So, you're right, Letem. I was wrong.
That's awesome. I've always really liked your name. How exactly did you come up with the name Throgma?
I pressed random, and then I added a G and got rid of an R at the end. It was originally Throgmar.
That's all. I actually like both. Uh, Either or is
I
good.
felt like this was easier for people.
Throgma, and you've got all the original characters in it. It's not like there's any special characters, so that's
No,
pretty
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, I know everyone wants this name. Kind of glad I got it.
It's a classic one, man.
hmm
Now, I did mention you are a co-leader. Um, what pros and cons are there to being a co-leader of a guild?
Oh, well, the good sides are you meet a lot of people. Downsides are a lot of people also don't like you. So, I'd rather the positives are better than the negatives, though. A lot better.
Yeah, I can see that, and you're definitely one of the higher ups, right? You're a co-leader, and
hmm
not every person, for example, we'll use work. Not everybody loves their boss or bosses, and sometimes you do kind of have to set a few things straight and make sure everything's in line, and so I can kind of see where that would get complicated, but
Yeah,
but I can definitely see
it
where
can.
it's nice, and you do meet a
The
lot of people.
politics are definitely politics. The Emerald Dream politics. Those are funny. Those are something that also adds the positives.
Emerald Dream is great,
Uh,
man, and I can
yeah,
see where
it
it will get
is.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like this place.
Yeah, so that brings me to my next question. Why or how did you choose Emerald Dream as your server?
Okay, that's really good because I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, how did I get here again? Oh yeah, I looked up on the forums best world PvP servers because on my other realm, Burning Blade, it's dead. There's like no one on it. So I looked it up and I liked World PvP because I saw an Astarius battle, like that private server. I saw a battle
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow, I want to do World PvP, but I don't want to play on Astarius or a private server.
Yeah, make
So
it official. Yeah, I can see that.
yeah, don't question me anymore on that. I might or might not have played on one.
Okay. Yeah, no.
But I searched the forums and I saw three servers that had World PvP. I saw Bleeding Hollow, Tichondrius, and Emerald Dream. And I looked up Bleeding Hollow first on YouTube to see if there's like any big guild rivalries, and there really wasn't. There was like Iron Wolf Clan, I think, but that was it. Then I looked up Tichondrius, and it was just two big guilds against each other. It was Worst Song Vanguard and the Alliance Empire. Then I look up Emerald Dream and I see all these different guilds. I see my guild that I joined, Warsong Battalion, and I was like, wow, that's cool. Look, they're fighting like the entire alliance, not just one guild. And beforehand, I boosted actually after I looked that up on the forums, I boosted a rogue here named Qualms. He was a human rogue because I was like, I had multiple horde characters beforehand, but so I was like, oh, I'll just boost an alliance to try out their side of the story. And I did, and I did like some of their quests at level 100 because I was when the boost was the maximum. and I was in Storm Shield, and I saw like a 40 mana Warsong Battalion run in, and I was in the Order of the Blue Wyvern at the time, and I was like, guys, come on, we gotta defend against these guys, and they were like, no, no, and I was kind of angry, so I was like, all right, well then. Well then, I guess if you guys aren't going to defend them, then I guess I'll join a guild that actually does do world PvP. So I have Throggma. He was like level 71 because I just leveled on this realm because I saw RP PvP. He was about level 71, and I just started leveling up. I remember I was in, I think I was in Dragon Blight. So I boosted him, not boosted, but leveled him up, and
Got him into fighting shape. Yeah, you leveled him up a little bit.
At like level 90 something, I was in Warsong Brigade. Then I joined Warsong Battalion at level 100. And that's pretty much it for that. I became officer for like 1 month before they disbanded.
Ah. Dang, well, so you mentioned like 100 boost, and my story of Emerald Dream is actually very, very similar to yours. But do you remember like what year or what expansion that you came to Emerald Dream?
2016, it was WOD. It wasn't even that long ago. It was like a year ago about.
Wow, that's very cool. So when I got back into WoW, my friend was like, hey, I played on server Hellscream, and he was like, look, I did some research, and Emerald Dream seems like a crazy server, a whole lot of like world PvP goes on there. And at first I was like, I don't really want to do it. We ended up boosting Alliance Tune, so I was on Alliance 2, and typical story, about a week later, he stopped playing, and he just left me, and so I boosted Jagori, who's my character now, and since then, it's kind of all just been history since that point in time. So I feel you, and I'm happy that you kind of found a spot to call home. I kind of did too. So I love this server, man. There's always so much going on, and I respect that you were like, look, if we're not going to stand up against these guys, there's something wrong with that, and maybe that's a team that I want to join. So that's kind of cool too.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. I really liked it.
I know a
lot of fun. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know World PvP is pretty active on this server. In my last interview, I actually got ganked and killed. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time around. But I know you do like a few different classes. If you could kind of break it down for us, out of all the classes in World of Warcraft, do you have one or two favorites that you think you might level up in the new expansion battle for Azeroth?
Yeah, I have like 6 or 7 level 110s. I got Death Knight, Rogue, Pally, Demon Hunter, Warrior, Shaman, and Warlock. But my favorite out of all of them are obviously Death Knight and Warlock. So I don't know, I just like summoning a lot of things. Like Army of the Dead, that's a cool ability. Demonology is really cool as Warlock. I like that. I like doing that kind of stuff. Even though once I started playing a little bit more, I kind of liked Frost a little bit. So
sweet, that's cool. So kind of sounds like you're on the dark side, man. Death Knight, Warlock.
I love it,
pretty
dude.
nice for a dark side guy.
Yeah. I'm the nicest bad guy there is.
That's epic, man. Now, it does sound like you were around for at least a year and a half on this server. But what about the story before that? Do you remember your first time logging into WoW, or what specifically drew you to this game to play? Was it a friend? Was it just a commercial?
To be honest, I don't even remember. I actually don't remember. I played a Warlock, though. It's been a while, so it was Burning Blade. It was on Burning Blade. I'm Undead Warlock. I still have that character. That's the Warlock I was talking about.
Dude, I feel like we're two peas in a pod. I actually had an Undead Warlock named Ravas, and I got him to 60. And this was way back in vanilla.
Yeah. 85 for me. His name's Evil Lord.
Evil Lord. That's
because I like being the bad guy, dude. I like the dark side. I chose a Horde because I wanted to be the bad guy, and we're finally fulfilling that right now. So,
I know a lot of
yeah.
people do think Horde is the bad guys. Would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. Oh God, if we weren't, like, I don't know if I would even play Horde. Like, I get it, like, you need good and bad, but sometimes it does get a little bit annoying when you're always the bad guy. Sometimes I like to see us be like a um a morally gray bad guy.
I do
Oh,
some
like,
good things here and there. Come on, it's not always bad.
yeah, like Garrosh, he was morally gray. For Theramore, because remember he evacuated like all the citizens from there before he bombed it. Which, God, I
Honorable.
love Garrosh. I love Garrosh. I love Sylvanas. They're both really cool. I don't like Saurfang.
Why is that?
He's a traitor. He didn't kill Malfurion.
Oh.
He betrayed Garrosh, and if you watch the new cinematic, he was gonna go pretty much kill himself. Plus, it makes a lot of people mad when I say that, so that's always fun.
I think
So
Sylvanas is pretty badass. That kind of brings me to my next question. A lot has gone on as far as like the story goes for WoW. What do you think of the Battle for Azeroth pre-patch? I know the Legion one had all the invasions and a lot was going on. Do you like it more than the Legion pre-patch, less than, or about the same?
um, personally for me, oh, that's a tough one. I remember the Legion pre-patch. There's a lot of stuff to do, and I remember there is a Dreadlord thing. You could become a Dreadlord, and
Yes. Something to do with like the scrolls or something, man. There was just a whole bunch going on. You had to kill them. They would pop up all the time in Orgrimmar. There's a lot.
yeah, yeah. Um, remember, I was a Dreadlord like twice, and I wiped out all of Orgrimmar,
I feel
and I
like
was
that
like,
goes
oh,
with
this
your
is really
persona,
cool.
the dark side.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like my favorite dark side character. Oh, I feel bad for saying it, but like Darth Vader's the typical one. It would have to be like Kylo Ren. Like he's obnoxious. He's like a kid though. He's like what? He's like a couple years older than me.
Since you played,
So,
sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
no, I'm getting off topic. I'm going on to Star Wars. Keep going.
I really wanted to ask you because you played Warlock and I played Warlock, and you may have played when this was a thing, but Warlocks could summon an Infernal back in the day, and they could only control it for about 10 minutes. And what you just talked about reminded me of that moment. And a lot of people, they would summon this Infernal into Orgrimmar and they'd hang out for like 10 minutes, and everybody would pretty much just sit and wait because they knew in 10 minutes this thing was going to
It's
lose
gonna
its
wreak
mind.
havoc.
Yeah. And then you would just attack it, and it was just one of those cool warlock kind of dark side
It's
things.
one of those RPG things, like role playing game things. We don't see that anymore in this. Like we don't see people taking advantage of spells like they used to. Like maybe growth elixirs and whatnot. But I want to see stuff that can actually hurt, like actually break the game pretty much. Because going to your pre-patch question, I would have to say Battle for Azeroth since almost everything is broken, and I love that. I love it when stuff's broken. Like I like being able to go into a capital city and I'm in danger because there's like 500 guards because something's broken. I like going in and I'm trying to kill the king. I'm trying to kill Anduin beforehand. Only had 20 at the time. Yeah, you can't do that. He has like, I don't know. I might be over exaggerating. He might have like 2 million health, I think. 2 million, I'm pretty sure. And
Yeah,
it's just that kind of stuff. Like then you have war mode, then you have these people all ganging up on LFG, and you're like, wow, people are like going on LFG. I'm gonna kill these guys with my guild, Warbound Legion, because this is my goal for the expansion. I'm gonna put down as many LFG groups as possible this entire expansion. So far, I've only put down like 540 mans.
still a lot. I mean, imagine all those people in one house, right? Like people would be flooding out of that house. So that is a lot of people.
I've never thought about that. That's a good analogy. I actually really
That would
like
be a
that.
crazy house party, brother. Like there would be people hanging out the windows.
Everyone would be looking at me. Yeah, it's a Throggma guy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but yeah, I'm trying to kill as many as possible because I hate cross realmers. Like not like if you're like teaming up with a guild, but just randoms that you LFG for. It's just, ugh. I hate multi-boxers. I hate a lot of stuff about that. I hate these cheap tactics. Phase mass resing, like I can handle regular mass resing, but when you're phasing and you despawn out of your phase and then you respawn while casting the mass res, like it's just annoying. You feel me? You know, guys? Right, gamers?
So I know you said you don't really like the cross realmers or anything like that, but hypothetically, if tomorrow they said, guys, for some crazy reason, Emerald Dream no longer exists, do you have some sort of backup server that you may be able to call home?
Burning Blade, go back to Burning Blade.
Go back?
Or take all of our guildies and go to another World PvP server, maybe like Tichondrius or Bleeding Hollow. But if I really wouldn't know. Like if they did remove it, then dang, rip Emerald Dream, rip the toxicity.
Yeah, that's
I
just
guess
the
I had
hypothetical.
enough of our Twitter stuff.
Yeah, so that brings a whole other aspect to Emerald Dream. At first, I really didn't understand it, but I actually grew to love the Twitter aspect of Emerald Dream. Was there any hesitation for you before you made like your Twitter account, or were you all for it? Did you use Twitter prior to Emerald Dream?
Hold on, I've used Twitter for like 2 months before I made my WoW Twitter, and that has like 30 tweets on it. Meanwhile, I have it up here. I have almost 4,000 tweets with this one. So, because the real life Twitter is boring.
I agree.
Because it's just people like complaining about regular life. And I'm like, well, you can just do this and that. Like, you don't have to complain. But then you go to this Twitter and it's like, oh, you're complaining about a video game? I can make that worse for you. Like, I can make that worse for you. So, the whole reason I got into it was on Warsong Battalion, like 2 months before it disbanded, I was champion rank, I think. And people were talking about some random crap on Twitter. And I was like, oh, Twitter? Like, what do you mean? I thought it was some big national news. No, it's probably like, I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was like some random dude that messed up and people started flaming him. And people were talking about it in G chat. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I wanna see that kind of stuff. Because I was like, oh, that I could read that in the morning when I wake up. And I do.
Your WoW newspaper, if you will.
Yes, pretty much. And most of the time I try to stay out of stuff. There's been a few things I've been in. And it was really funny. I had a lot of fun with it. Because it gives you, like, something to do. Because I remember when I was in, like... When I was not Kojium yet. But, like, when you're killing a raid, like, let's say... Valduren, like, I always mess with him. I always mess with Valduren. It's a lot of fun. And if you're watching this, Valduren, you need to grow a pair.
Oh, all right, okay.
Oh, yeah, you just fucking called him out.
Called him out. All right, yeah. Well, maybe there'll have to be some kind of response interview or something like that. But is there... I guess that may have answered this question, but in my mind, there's really two ways to play World of Warcraft, and that's PvE, which is player versus environment, or PvP. Yeah. Which side would you lean more towards?
PvP.
PvP.
Definitely.
Just find it more exciting?
Like, yeah, my personal favorite battleground is Alterac Valley, so I like in the middle. I like having some mobs help me fight. Like I think it's cool having like a little army of yours. But I also like interacting with real people, so I like PvP more. So that's why I like Alterac Valley the most, though, because there's like mobs around that you can kill and whatnot.
I
It's
remember
cool.
back in the day, yeah, that was 51 to 60, and I remember as soon as I hit 51, I joined on that war like I told you about, and the Rams, they would aggro me, and I'd be like, this is a nightmare, and I couldn't wait to get to 60. I think it is a very interesting battleground. Definitely cool. There seems to be some sort of science to it. After 10 years, I haven't quite figured that out with which bases to capture. I just follow the pack, essentially.
Oh, you should try it now. They I just did one before this interview, and I was like, did they change something in here? Because reinforcements are 300, right? It's like 300, 300. Well, they increased it. I found out they increased it to 700,
Oh, wow.
700, and increased the mob health. So there I am, and I'm getting slaughtered by regular NPCs. So I'm thinking, maybe we can actually do the old objectives. So I collect armor scraps like from dead players, and I tell everyone in my raid to start collecting, and we actually get one of the objectives done. We actually upgrade our units a lot stronger. They're much, much stronger than they were before. And I'm like, wow, they must have really balanced this, because for the first about 30 minutes, it was stuck in the field of strife. We didn't kill Belinda, and they didn't kill Galv. It's so fun. And then we started pushing back and forth. They sent rogues back behind us to try and kill like towers and whatnot. We had to send people back to get it.
Killer, back cap, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of stuff I like. I'm ranting, but
No, it kind of sounds like
you,
nostalgic in a way,
it is. It pretty much is. I've never played that kind of Alterac Valley, and I've always wanted to. So I pretty much got it today, and I'm super happy I did. So you want to move on to the next question, because I'm ranting really bad here.
Sure, yeah, no problem. So let's take a step out of the WoW universe. I am a huge Overwatch fan. Do you enjoy any like first-person shooter games, or if your subscription ran out tomorrow and you still really wanted to play some video games, is there a second favorite or another type of video game that you would play?
Well, I like story games first off, so I like games like The Walking Dead, like Telltale games. Life is Strange is a good game. It's a bit of an emotional game, but I like choice games. Like you can choose what you want to do, so you can be a bad guy. So
I'm sure you go that. Yeah.
I choose that. Like if I'm gonna be nice to someone or be mean, I'll definitely be mean to them in the game. I won't do that to real life people, because I know like there are actually people behind that screen.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, I'm not like a truly evil kind of guy, but like I don't mean to brag or anything, but when I was playing Fallout 4, I chose the Institute.
okay,
Yep.
nice.
When I was playing Fallout 3, I nuked Megaton.
Gone with
Didn't
it.
regret it.
Get out of here. This is my game.
Yeah, definitely.
I have to ask you, man. As a kid, I would always read those books where it was like, if you want to go left, turn to this page. If you want to go
definitely,
right,
yes.
I feel like you were one of those kids who read that book.
I definitely was. I've read like Calvin Hobbes too. I've read those kind of comics. But those choose your own story adventure games, they're so fun. I loved that. I remember I had one. What was it? It's been a while. I'm trying to remember. It was, I think you're in like a haunted house or something. And I died like every single time. Like it was game over for me.
No worries, man. I mean, either way, you still got WoW, and you're kicking butt in here. So I'm actually really impressed, man.
I'm really happy.
You got a lot of 110s.
Yeah, I'm really happy with Warbound Legion. We're doing great. Going back to WoW, obviously, it's probably one of the best guilds I know of. Not to brag or anything, but I'm really just happy. Like our Officer Corps, shout out to them. Shout out to Crayola. He got name reported, so he's Cruz now. But he's
that was a sick name.
He's Crayola in my eyes. I forget who reported him. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff involved with that. I'll have to go back and check. And Desaro, or Vetreon, He's the other co-GM. He's really great, really funny.
He is. He helped me out with
He
my Discord, actually. He came to my stream one night, and he helped me set up everything and in regards to my Discord. So shout out to him. He was very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm usually not nice to them in person, but I'm usually never nice to anyone. And shout out to like Sarah. Shout out to Reluctor. He helped build this a little bit, even if he's not an officer. Shout out to Holly Forrest. You know, all of the officers. Vivitix. Oh, there's so many. I can go on and on.
Yeah, and I know it's a big family, right?
Xanathal, the GM, the big man. He's definitely the biggest reason why this guild is a huge success. So shout out to him.
That's great, man. It truly does sound like you're happy, and I do have a similar feeling with ISR. It just feels like I found like a home, and you log on every day and you talk to the same people, and you really do build strong friendships. It's honestly
Definitely.
a great game.
And that's another thing with Emerald Dream too, because like beforehand I didn't even know Letem, like going back to Letem, Letem has a spot he hangs out in every day. And I'm like, wow, that kind of gives it like a sense of community. And then I start thinking back to when I just joined an Emerald Dream, and there's this Tauren named Sugefoot, and he's a big Tauren paladin protection, and he always stood in the same spot every single day. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. It's like a community. So that's another reason why I stayed, because it felt like you knew everyone.
That's so cool, man. It's almost like securing your spot in this world. I hate to keep bringing up my past, but
no, it's fine. It's fine.
I originally, I also played a Druid as well, and every day I would go in bear form and I would slash sit in the same spot, and it really is like securing your own little spot in this huge video game, and people would always pass, and they know when they go through that part, they're going to see you. You are a part of the game.
Definitely another person like that's Salty Shuku. He is the lockpick master, as I call him. He'll pick any boxes open for you. He'll even give you a fortune cookie. So a little shameless advertisement for that.
Oh man, this server is great. There was even people handing out like Christmas gifts. It didn't
matter.
matter.
I remember that. Yeah, dude. I started doing that too on a different character because I didn't want anyone to know that I was
secretly being nice.
Yeah, but I gave like crappy gifts. It wasn't like what this other person gave me. They gave me like a pet. No, like someone gave me Garn Nighthowl. The wolf mount.
Yeah, I already had it.
I already had it, but I was really thankful for that. So I kept it in my guild, not my guild, in my regular bank, and I still have it. I always appreciate that because it's a thought for me.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it might have been you. Was it you?
I handed out quite a few. It very well could have been, believe it or not.
It might have been you. Well, if it was, I still have it.
Oh man, that is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I really just appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me, man. And I'm really happy that we did meet. And I look forward to doing World PvP and PvP with you in the future, man. You're a good guy.
Thank you. You are too. You're making Twitter a lot less toxic. And I appreciate that.
I do what I can. And everybody watching at home, if you do want to reach out to Throggma, I'm going to have his Twitter link in the description below. Is that the best spot to reach out to you?
Yeah, Twitter.
Okay, cool. I'll have that link for you guys, and I appreciate you tuning in. See you next time.